Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Duel Links not ranked replay, Duel Links deck list. Definitely not a ranked replay. Today, we're going to be doing a bit of a unique one in celebration of the fact that there is no new box. Good job, Konami. We're in a skip month. And, well, the evil hero Jaden, I completely butchered his name, Supreme King Jaden. Oops. Supreme King Jaden was, I believe, the first skip month of a box, to my knowledge. It was the first one I experienced anyway. So, why not do a little special? I have 6 hero decks. I'm going to have to find content for 6 days, right? So, we're going to do a deck list and a breakdown on each of those 6. Starting off with part 1, Evil Hero, with the skill Domination of Darkness. So, without ado, let's get into it. Obviously, we're using Supreme King Jaden as our character. And I'm just going to start by going over the skill, because it will justify some of our deck building choices. The Domination Darkness skill. It is attainable, I believe, through ranked rewards. Or legendary rewards. Anyway, you can reveal 1 Evil Hero fusion from your extra deck, then place all the fusion materials specifically listed on that card, from outside of your deck to the graveyard. When you use this skill a second time in the duel, you cannot select a fusion monster of the same name as the first one used. This skill can be used once per turn, and this skill can be used at the beginning of the... You can use if you begin a duel with a deck that meets the following conditions. 5 or more Evil Hero monsters, no monsters other than Evil Hero or Elemental Hero, and your deck contains 5 or more Evil Hero monsters. And it contains no fusion monsters other than Evil Hero fusion monsters. That might be a lot to take in, but basically it sets the materials to the graveyard for any of your fusions. That's the easiest way to describe it, and obviously you need some conditions, which aren't really that tight. So let's just take a look at the deck. Obviously it is heavily influenced, but all of the Evil Hero decks kind of are. Due to the lack of Malicious Bane, currently, we don't actually have any reason to play anything else, but we'll get into it. To start off, we're playing 2 copies of Evil Hero Malicious Edge. We gotta get that count up there, right? And he's just sort of generically the best. Also, he does work with a fusion, unlike Infernal Gainer and Infernal Prodigy. So yeah, he has the effect that if your opponent controls a monster, you can tribute him with 1 less tribute. So he's a 1 tribute. And he deals piercing battle damage, 2600 attack, 18 defense. Yeah, he's just sort of the best one we can play. Anyway, then we're playing 3 copies of Evil Hero Adjusted Gold. You can discard him to add a Dark Fusion or a card that specifically lists Dark Fusion in its text. That is very important. You can only activate it once per turn, and it cannot attack unless you control a fusion monster. Which is fine. It's got 2100 attack, so it's a decent enough body if we ever need to normal summon him. Okay, next up is Elemental Hero Stratos. We're obviously playing 3 of them because it searches Adjusted Gold. Adjusted Gold is basically the play of the deck. And I'm sure we all know Stratos. You're going to see him a lot in this series. Sorry about that. You can destroy you can destroy spell trap cards up to the number of heroes you control except himself, or add a hero from deck to your hand. Amazing. Yeah. Then we're also playing a Rota, just to search Stratos, to search Adjusted Gold. Because that's our strategy. Our strategy is just to get Adjusted Gold as fast as possible. Next up, I'm playing 2 copies of Dimensional Fissure. This is a bit of a tech choice in my deck. Because we don't really need the grave that much. Obviously, some cards do need the graveyard, but it does more benefit than it does harm for us, I feel, because we don't really care that much. So, pretty good tech in my opinion. We're playing 1 copy of the Supreme King's Castle. It can just grant a lot of attack to one of our guys, assuming there's no die-fi up. And also it makes them scared of a super polymerization. If they didn't catch, or you haven't had in your hand Rota, it can make them scared that you're going to super poly them, so they might play a bit more defensively. Next up, I'll do that a bit later. 3 copies of Dark Calling. This is the play of the deck. Because Domination Darkness sends at any point in the turn, you just send them to the graveyard, activate Dark Calling, there's your fusion. And that's what the skill was meant for, that's how we use it. Next up is some staples. We have 3 Book of Moon and 2 Warning Point. Yeah, you could easily replace this. Supreme King's Castle for another Warning Point or other generic. It's just back row. Staples. You notice we've got quite a bit of room in the deck. Because Evil Heroes aren't very good. So yeah, I guess we'll just move on to the extra deck. We're playing 1 Wild Cyclone. When it deals damage, you destroy all face down spell and traps. Bit weird, but it does do its job, I guess. We're playing 2 copies of Malicious Fiend. I'm playing it so that we can send it off Supreme King's Castle, because it's a level 8, it's the highest level we got. Bit more useful than Dark Gaia in this deck. So yeah, and he basically means that you can only attack him. If there's 2, you have to choose one of them. No, he can. He controls where your opponent attacks, so you can just guide them away from anything you don't want to attack. Next up, we're playing 1 copy of Evil Hero Inferno Wing. It's basically Flame Wingman, except worse because the attack half. It does piercing, and then it deals damage equal to the opponent's half of the opponent's monster's original attack or defense in the graveyard, whichever's higher. Paper, better Flame Wingman. Reality, worse Flame Wingman because of Duel Links is happening. We're also playing an Inferno Sniper. When she's in defense position, during your own standby phases, deal 500 damage to your opponent. Has to be in phase of defense position. And it can be destroyed by spell effects, which is pretty neat. And finally, Lightning Golem. Finally for the fusions, Lightning Golem. It's just a once per turn target destroy. It has to be a monster though. Yeah, with 2400 attack, he's a pretty good one. Then we're playing some Exceeders, Abyss Dweller and Malevolent Sin. You could add another, because we're playing 6 fusions, not 5. But I feel like Dweller's good enough. Again, we don't really care that much about the graveyard, so we can lock it down. And Sin's just good for ending games. We could also swap this out for another game ender. But yeah, that's the deck. As for some text you might want to put into the deck, that's when it gets a little bit rough. Because the way Domination of Darkness works is that it needs this gameplay loop. Dark Calling, Adjusted Gold. It needs Dark Calling to work. So your only text, I would say, for like maybe more free-to-play players, would be don't play this deck. But if you're insisting, it would probably just be filled up with the other evil heroes, like, oh wait, I forgot about the amount of heroes that there are. Oops. Evil heroes like Infernal Prodigy, that's a free card, and thanks to the structure deck as well, he is not here. Where did they go? Oops. Evil hero. Hold on, where's Infernal Gainer? Here he is. Infernal Gainer as well. Works decently enough. It's just a 4. It's an okay enough effect. You can make a Fiend attack twice as well, which is it's alright, I guess. Mediocre. But yeah, there's not really. I don't feel like there's too much flexibility in this deck. This build is very specifically tailored to Domination of Darkness, summon, summon, summon. In fact, all the good evil hero decks are like this, unfortunately. As for where you can find everything, again, Evil Hero is one of the more expensive hero decks. Malicious Edge, Dark Calling, Malicious Fiend are all found, oops, wrong button, are all found in the structure deck Evil Domination. Structure deck EX, and you need 3 copies of one of its cards. Yeah, it's pretty rough. And then your Searcher, the Ultra, he's not found there either. Instead, he's found in Pendulum Genesis. Yeah, it's pretty rough as an Ultra. Stratos, you're going to find this a lot. He's found in Shark Fang. He's also in some selection boxes. This is a free card. It's just you use it with tickets now, or trade him. As for everything else, this is a bundle card. In case you didn't know, it's a bundle card. This is a free card. We'll get to that. Sorry. This dimensional fissure, if you're wondering, is in Raiders Requiem. Book of Moon is in the selection box, and Chaotic Soldiers. This is not out yet, as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong though. And Warning Point, if you're wondering, is found in Link Revolution. I did forget to mention, before we move on to the extra deck, I did forget to mention that the staple slots can be filled by anything. Go back and watch my cheap decks video of some budget decks. I give you a lot of good budget staples. Same with the rank 4s, budget rank 4s. Wild Cyclone, Inferno Wing are both level up rewards from the Supreme King. Wild Cyclone's a bit more difficult to get your grubby mix on. He was also in a dual quest, so he's probably available through tickets somewhere. Also, Infernal, is a drop. Lightning Golem is also in Pendulum Genesis, so it's not entirely useless, right? It's an SR. Abyss Dweller and Malevolent Sin are both found in Photon of Galaxy. So yeah, I guess without further ado, if you want to know, there's the Mat and Sleeves. That's my cover card. I don't think it would really matter. Let's just get into the replays, shall we? In my opinion, this is by far the worst of the hero decks, but I did get pretty lucky. So let's look. I'm in Platinum Rank 6, start of the season. I got 3 wins in a row, which I was quite surprised with. So let's watch them all, shall we? Favorite replays. Let's watch all 3. I was pleasantly surprised at this. So, yeah. The first one was versus Necros, which is strange. Necros is a weird deck. You can very easily play around Trish, believe it or not. He had a 5-win streak, that must have sucked. Anyway, we draw Supreme King's Castle, Dimensional Fissure, 2 Book of Moon. Yeah, pretty dodgy. He starts by activating Aurora, getting Shroot. Then he activates Necros Cycle using his Shroot to summon Brionac. Then Shroot's effect activates, he adds Trishula, Necros of Trish, and ends his turn. And we draw Dust Gold. We start by activating Dimensional Fissure, then we activate Dust Gold to get Dark Calling. And then activate Supreme King's Castle, use the skill Domination Darkness, and I decide to go for Inferno Wing. And realizing initially this was a misplay on my half, but it did work out. We book his Brionac, summon out Inferno Wing. Then we set our other book, attack with Inferno Wing, dealing some damage. We don't get the burn thanks to Die 5. Could have maybe saved that for later, but it will keep him off of some stuff. It will banish anything that wasn't good. It just ends the turn, we draw Warning Point, we enter. So we just enter battle, get in for 21. It's his turn now. He activates Necros Kaleidoscope, banishing Fossil Machine Skullwagon from the deck. Getting Brionac out, we Warning Point Brionac. So he ends his turn. And with a Dusted Gold, his fate is sealed. We discard a Dusted Gold to get Dark Calling. We book his guy to bait out Trish. But it's hopeless because we activate our skill, deciding on Lightning Golem, activating Dark Calling to summon out Evil Hero Lightning Golem. We use Lightning Golem's effect to destroy his card and get in for 21 with Infernal Wing. So that was the first replay. You got to see the deck's basic idea. It's just get Dark Calling, summon a fusion, hope and beg. And our next duel is versus Blue Eyes. Speaking of hoping and begging. I'm guessing he's using Scorns of Defeat skill, because it wasn't Ultimate Dragons. And we also draw a bunch of staples. But Dark Calling, we decide Infernal Sniper is probably the best one for this scenario. It's the only one that can do anything going first. So we decide to summon Infernal Sniper, defense position, and step 3 pass. It's his turn. He draws, and then he summons out Maiden with Eyes of Blue. We warning point it, because I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with 2 blue eyes. He uses Sage, getting rid of Maiden, trying to activate Spec, failing miserably. He summons Dragon Spirit of White, and goes to banish one of our Bookamoons. We chain it, because why not? Baiting him out, see if he has blue eyes, he does not. And he passes. Rip hand. We draw Malicious Edge. Infernal Sniper deals 500 in the standby phase. I would decide to go a bit offensive to summon Malicious Edge, going in and dealing 600 damage to him. And we just end our turn. With Book, we've got some bit of fortitude. He summons Divine Dragon Apocryph. Sending Glow-Up Bulb, returning Dragon Spirit of White, summoning Glow-Up Bulb in defense. We draw another Malicious Edge. Doesn't matter, because we go in for 25. He become 400 life points. He then uses Ryuku. We Bookamoon his Divine Dragon. Yeah. The end is in sight, he just surrenders. Because he realized we would have won. And we drew Dark Calling, so we could have summoned a fusion. Yeah. This deck's very good at picking off low level players. Not low level, but like low skill, bad hands, etc, etc. And our final duel, Code Talker. Playmaker and I about shat myself when I saw that. I was like, oh god, Goki. But, thanks to our opener, Goki probably wouldn't have been too big of a problem. Because guess what we open? Di-Fi. So we start by activating Rora to grab Stratos from deck. Another Stratos, I should say. We then activate Di-Fi, summon Stratos effect, grab a Dusted Gold, a Dusted Gold effect, discard it, add Dark Calling. And it worked well for us last time, so we're doing Infernal Sniper again. Summon Infernal Sniper. Here, Lethal Hero, Infernal Sniper, set Bookamoon, and end our turn. Not a great board, but after it's Signet Mining, discarding Signet Mining to add Lady Debug. He then normal summons Lady Debug. Trying to activate its effect, we decide to book that, hoping he has nothing else that he can summon for free. He adds Microcoder to his hand. Sets 2, ends his turn. We draw. Infernal Sniper deals damage. We normal summon Stratos and misplay I should say, adding a hero monster instead of destroying both his back row. We discard a Dusted Gold, and he activates Bookamoon on Infernal Sniper and Bookamoon on the Stratos we already had. And then he just surrenders. Either because he was like, I'm just gonna lose, or he was mega dumb and thought he was gonna big brain me there. So yeah. That's been it for Evil Heroes Part 1. Stay tuned for tomorrow's upload, which will be number 2, Evil Hero with Power Leads to Destiny. That being said, I guess I'll see you guys. Yeah, bye.